I got scammed out of $67,000. Or did I? Well, kind of. If you've been involved in the trading space at all lately, you know what a prop firm is. Simply put, you pay a fee to take an evaluation and prove your profitability, and in return, they give you trading capital and pay you a performance fee if you make money. Easy, right? Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. But I guarantee if you stay till the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of the industry, the risks involved, and if this is the right vehicle for you to take your trading to the next level. But if you're new to the channel and wondering why you should listen to me, here's a little bit about myself. My name's Kyle, otherwise known as JadeCapFX, and I've been active in the market since 2011. And like many of you right now, I had a huge problem with being undercapitalized. This led me to blowing up accounts, taking too many trades, and overall not positioning myself well enough to be patient in compounding my capital over time. Fast forward to COVID 2020 when I discovered prop firms, the first one being FTMO. I already found a bit of consistency. After all, I had already been trading for 9 years, but compounding my small account was just taking too long. So I thought, why not give this a go? My first payout was $61,255.08. And yes, this was before they added QR codes to the certificates. It didn't take long to realize that this outpaced any personal account could. Shortly after, I reinvested my profits into more and more firms, less reputable ones, with the hopes of scaling my capital past $1 million. Well, at my peak, I hit $5.5 million, and a 2% gain would result in $100,000 months or even days. Fast forward to today, I've withdrawn $1.4 million from prop firms in the span of 2 years. If you want full proof of my payouts, check out my pinned Twitter post, which just hit 1 million impressions, and it includes every single payout certificate received up until January 2024. It's worth mentioning that all of this was started on a shoestring budget of less than $10,000. So yes, essentially I've turned 10K into over $1 million in profits. Now, why do I tell you this? I'm in a position now where I've used almost every big firm in the market, and I've received payouts from the majority of them. And not small ones either, which makes me one of the top industry experts when it comes to using these services and receiving what they promise, which is money. But is it actually promised? And that leads me into the topic of this video, how I got scammed out of $67,000. Throughout the past few years, we've seen various firms crash and burn, like Funding Talent, My Forex Funds, The Funded Trader, Funded Engineer, and Skilled Funded Traders. The most vocal response is that they're a scam. But as far as I'm aware, scams usually don't pay out people at the rate that they're reporting. We're talking millions of dollars. So there must be another reason. Let's talk about the business model. All of, if not most of their revenue comes from failing traders and the fees they collect for valuations. The very small percentage of profitable traders, I'm assuming less than 10% of the user base, is paid out with the evaluation fees. Now, that is the majority of the business model. The failed traders pay for the profitable traders. It's basically just like the market, but on steroids because of the leverage. Some argue that these firms are A-booking traders to mitigate the risk, but let's dive deeper into that. I don't believe these firms are A-booking anyone, especially not at the level to sustain millions of dollars in payouts. And maybe they are, but not at the scale required to offset their expenses. If you're wondering what A-booking is, in simple terms, it's copying the profitable traders into their own corporately held accounts. This alone requires a firm to abide by a whole different set of regulations. So if anything, they're using the data as a group to offset the risk. Logically, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no vetting process, and they have no idea who's on the other end taking trades. Now compare that with FTMO, where their A-booking process requires multiple consistent months of trading, as well as an interview process to get onboarded with QuantLane, a traditional proprietary firm. So now that we understand the business and revenue model, let's talk about the risks. I see there being 3 main categories of risk when it comes to the prop firm industry. There's legal risk, software and platform risk, and finally cash flow risk. Any one or combination of these 3 will cause a firm to shut down, just like any other business. My Forex Funds, for example, shut down due to legal risk. Funding Talent shut down due to cash flow risk. The rules were too easy and there were too many profitable traders. The Funded Trader, Skilled Funded Traders, and Funded Engineer, combination of platform and cash flow risk. So these firms had issues with their tech providers, forcing them to migrate, and MetaTrader pulled out from the market. As far as I'm aware, none of these firms that shut down got into business with the explicit intention of closing its doors. So that leads us into identifying what the prop firm product actually is. A high-risk vehicle to leverage your capital with no guarantee of being paid out. It's a good deal if you understand the product and the risks of the industry, but there's no guarantee that these firms are going to be around tomorrow. Which leads me into the issue I'm having right now with, you guessed it, funded peaks. I currently have $67,000 pending since June 13th, over 2 months since I made the initial payout request. I see this firm having 3 main problems. Number 1, their rules were too easy. They offered an industry best 12% drawdown limit. That alone will create an uptick in the amount of profitable traders on the platform. Cash flow risk. Number 2, they weren't monetizing data at the level that would sustain a massive drop in revenue, or even a significant drop in revenue, which all businesses go through from time to time. Cash flow risk. Number 3, they recently lost MetaTrader right after they brought on a new CEO, platform, and cash flow risk. Plain and simple, they ran into issues that impacted their bottom line month over month, and they're not able to pay out their profitable traders. They've paused all new signups and have a large backlog of payouts. So I don't see this ending well. Now, is it a foregone conclusion that this firm will go under? Not quite yet, but it's looking worse and worse with each passing day. Did I get scammed though? I'll leave that up to you to determine. I know exactly what I'm getting into when signing up to these prop firms and what I can possibly expect out of them. Again, a high-risk vehicle with no guarantee of payout. So if you're using these products as your golden ticket out of your current situation, I implore you to reevaluate what it is you're actually purchasing. I hope you all learned something about the industry today that can help you make better decisions when it comes to using these firms. Just remember, they're giving you the opportunity to leverage your capital, but obviously that comes with inherent risk, as with anything that has massive upside potential. So here's a harsh reminder, if you're investing all of your disposable income into these firms, you are doing something seriously wrong. At the time of this recording, I'm still waiting to be paid out, but if something changes, I'll make sure to update you all in the comment section. If you have any strong opinions on the current state of the industry, make sure you drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.